One man is rewriting the rules and taking it to another level.
And the next level, and the next level.
The seventh level.
You just feel how natural it is. You feel how open you become to your prospects, and in response, they usually become more open to you.
Founded by Jeremy Miner, Seventh Level is the only friction-free sales system guaranteed to raise revenue.
In my life, it's been revolutionary.
And his followers are feeling the difference.
His training has transformed everything.
It is precise, and it really draws out emotions.
People around the world are starting to catch on.
We're going to tie in the new model of selling to your product or service that you sell.
These tools can work for anyone in any industry at any time.
And it's time to get on board before the ship sets sail. It's Seventh Level with Jeremy Miner.
All right, let's go live. Okay, we are now live on a bunch of different platforms. Okay, so we had to make a few adjustments because last week, Facebook Meta announced that you can no longer go live in a Facebook group using a third-party app like StreamYard or Zoom. Could be trouble. So we had Nick in here, rearranged a couple different computers. So we're going live here in the Facebook group still, Sales Revolution. About 127,000 of you running around in there, sales professionals and entrepreneurs. We're also going live here on our LinkedIn channel, our YouTube channel, our Facebook business page, about 180,000 of you on that bad boy. My personal Facebook, we're going live here on Instagram as well. Close to, we're about 680-some thousand of you on there. Now, how many of you ever get a prospect that gives you they say something like, hey, I really like this, but can you do it cheaper? Or, I really like this, but, your interest rate's too high. If you sold mortgages or lending or loans, or if you're a real estate agent, I really like this, but can you lower your commission on your percentage on your commission? Or it could be any industry. You could sell doors and say, you know what, can you give me a cheaper price because company X, they said they could do it for this price. And what do you actually say? So type in me if you ever get a prospect that asks you, can you give me a cheaper price? Or, company X offered it me for this. Can you lower the price? Well, what do you do then? Are you going to just lower your price? Or are you going to learn what's behind that? So type in me if you ever get that objection. I'm going to see how many of you actually get that objection. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, let me see here. I want to see comments. Yeah, okay, there you go. I'm going to show you how to find out what this even means. Because a lot of you are just assuming you know why they even asked for a cheaper price. And you don't really know what's behind that, okay? Now, if you're brand new and you just started following me here, let's say I've got the Instagram phone here. If you started following me on the Instagram, or if you follow me in the Facebook group, or let's say you started following me on LinkedIn or YouTube or even the Facebook business page, or you see our ads everywhere. I think we have like 7 billion ads on all social media platforms. I'm Jeremy Miner, founder of Seventh Level. Now, we're an organization, sales training organization, obviously, that trains salespeople exactly like you, watching me in we're got a black Hugo Boss shirt on today. So we train sales professionals like you. We train sales leaders like you, sales executives like you, sales management like you, entrepreneurs, business owners, CEOs, VPs of sales, doesn't really matter, coaches, consultants, anybody that is trying to sell more of your product, service, or your thing. Now, we're going to train you techniques that work with human behavior rather than work against it. What do I even mean by that? Okay. Are you 100% sure the questions you're using now are the best questions for your industry? Are you 100% sure you know how to use your tonality to get your prospects to let their guard down? Are you 100% sure you even know how to use your facial expressions or your body language if they can see you to actually build trust and raise your status in their mind, or actually lower your status in their mind? Okay, so we're going to show you some of that today. We show you some of this here in some of our lives. Obviously, if you want to learn how to really master it and sell a lot more than you are now, you can always message us about our advanced training programs for your industry. Okay, now in the chats, like I said, type in me if you've ever lost a sale. Sometimes it's hard for us to admit when the prospect asks you to give you a cheaper price on what you're offering. Okay. All right. Now here's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to break this down for you. Okay. All right. There's probably a reason it's cheaper. Let's set forward, get concerned, and challenge the price. Okay. I always end my deals with a kiss on the forehead. I don't know what you're selling over there. Okay. So we'll show you a few things over here. Let me move this around here. I'm in this tiny office while we build out the new building. Going to be here for probably another 6 months or so. Okay, so let me show you this so you guys can see, and let's make sure we don't get this over here. Okay, the first thing you have to do, and I'm even going to ask you this question: when a prospect asks you for a cheaper price, do you genuinely even know why they asked you that question? Do you even know why they asked you that, or are you assuming you know why they asked you that? That is a big difference. So first thing you want to do is find out why they even asked you that question. Like, what is actually behind that question? Okay. So the first thing you can do now, it's all going to be tweaked depending on your industry. Okay. There's going to be little nuances here. This is more generic here that I'm going to show you, but I'm going to give you some industry specific examples here in a few minutes to help you with this. Okay. So let's say, hey, can you give me a cheaper price? You're simply going to say this. Well, I mean, it depends. Now, hold on. You must have asked me that for a reason. Well, it depends. Now, you must have asked me that for a reason. Now, let's just start right there, okay? I'm not going to disagree with them, and I'm not going to agree with them. I say, well, it depends. Now, you must have asked me that for a reason. Now, why would I want to find out why they asked me that question? Are they asking for a cheaper price because they don't have enough funding for what you sell? Are they asking for a cheaper price because a competitor offered it lower? Are they asking for a cheaper price because they have some type of concern that there might be more maintenance on what? It depends on what you sell, right? So there's many different reasons why they might be asking. This guy is funny in a good way. Oh, I'm not that cool, but thanks. You're very nice. I'm telling my kids that give me compliments over here. They always say I'm boring. There you go. All right. So I need to find it. Oh, now I'm going to do that in a concerned tone. Okay. Now write this down. This is important to you. Your tone, that means your tonality, is how your prospect interprets the intention behind every question you ask. Your tone is how they interpret why you're asking the question in the first place. Okay. So here I want to ask this in a concerned tone, a tone that shows empathy. Okay. Well, it just depends. Now, hold on. You must have asked me that for a reason. You can tell me what's going on. Yeah, Jeremy, the reason why is, let's say they say this, company X offered it for 10% less. Let's say if that's what they said there. Okay. Are you with me here? Now, what are you going to do then? Are you going to say, oh, well, company X is horrible and start bashing company X? Not a good idea if you don't want to lose sales. Okay. So here's what you're going to do. Okay. You're going to find out specifically, first of all, you're going to find out, did company X actually offer it to them cheaper? Now, why do I want to find out if they actually offered it to them cheaper? Because you have to realize a lot of your prospects don't tell you the truth. You do it to salespeople too. Well, I was over at BMW up here north, and they said they could give me the 5 Series for $3,000 less. You probably do it too, right? You just make it up. So you need to find out if it's actually made up or real first. There's many different things here, okay? So I'm first going to ask it, oh, what specifically did they offer you? So that's the first question. Oh, what specifically did they offer you? Now, if they can't come back with a real answer, more than likely, they're making it up. Now, that's not 100% true all the time. You got to be careful. I don't want to assume on every time. But if they say, well, they offered us this, this, and this, that sounds more legit. If they're like, well, I don't really know, then I could say, well, if you really thought about it, what specifically did they offer you? Now, why do I specifically want to know what they were offered? Does anybody know? Somebody tell me in the chats. Because here's why. Because let's say if I sold doors, let's say I'm in the home improvement center and I sold doors, and company X said, well, we could get you the doors for this price, but then you find out that it's a completely different type of door that's going to have to be replaced in 5 years instead of 25 years. And that's why it's 10% cheaper. See, I need to know that, okay? Or whatever it is. Oh, what specifically did they offer you? Well, they offered us this, they offered us that, okay? Now, okay, here's your next step. Now, like I said, there's going to be different nuances and different tweaks depending on the industry you're in, okay? This is generic. I will show you some industry-specific examples from about 5 or 6 different industries in a minute so you can see the format. Then I'm going to say, yeah, I mean, XYZ company, I mean, they're fairly decent. I guess it really just depends on the result you're looking for. I mean, is price the most important thing for you, or actually getting XYZ result? Okay, now I just did a few things there. Now, the first thing I just showed you, write this down. This is called an NEPQ reframe, okay? Because if a prospect says, can you do it for cheaper? Can you lower the cost or price? That means you have not learned how to take them from cost or price-based thinking into what we call results-based thinking, okay? See, I've got to reframe my prospect's brain from price or cost-based thinking into results-based thinking, okay? Where the price doesn't necessarily matter. This is very important. Pay attention to what I'm about to show you. Now, there's another thing I did here. Why would I say, yeah, I mean, company X, I mean, they're fairly decent. Why did I say fairly decent? Why not say, oh, company X, they're horrible. Our clients tell us that they did bad here, blah, 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 blah. Because then you sound like every salesperson. And your prospect knows that you were, of course, saying something bad about their company because they know you're trying to sell them. So their guard goes up, okay? I don't want to also say, oh, that's a great company. I don't want to reinforce that it's a good decision to go with a different company. So I'm going to say the words fairly decent. Now, pay attention to my tonality. When I use my tone here to say fairly decent, I want you to type in on the comments what my tone sounded like to you. Yeah, I mean, company X, I mean, they're fairly decent. I guess it just depends on the result you're looking for. Now, what did my tone sound like when I said, yeah, company X, I mean, they're fairly decent. I guess it just depends on the result you're getting for. What type of tone did that just sound like? What did I just seed there? I just seeded doubt with my tone that I know something about company X that they don't know. Yeah, I mean, they're fairly decent. It's kind of a skeptical tone. That's what it is. It's a nice little skeptical tone. It triggers uncertainty in their brain. You guys are starting to get it here on Instagram. See, that triggers uncertainty about what they are offered by their company. I don't have to say a word. I can trigger uncertainty and doubt simply by using my tonality. Type in me if you want to learn how to use your tonality to trigger doubt and to trigger uncertainty in your prospect's mind about what they already have or buying decisions that they're making without you. You start to learn that, how much more would you be able to sell than you are right now? Okay? Type at me if you want to learn that. Okay? Yeah, I mean, they're fairly decent. I guess it really just depends on the results you're looking for. I mean, is price the most important thing to you, or actually getting XYZ result? Now, what did I just do with my hands? Is price the most important thing to you, or getting XYZ result? And you're going to repeat back the result they said they wanted. That is called a comparative frame. I'm comparing price and cost versus result, that there's only two choices. You're either going to get the best price or you're going to get the best result. Which one do you want? You don't ask it that way. Okay. Is the price the most important thing to you, or actually getting XYZ result? It's very hard for the prospect to then come back and say, the price is the most important, not the result. They will always say, well, yeah, we want to get XYZ result. Okay. Or they could say, well, yeah, we want to get XYZ result, but we also want to get the best price. They'll say one or the other. The result is much bigger. See, now I'm reframing their way of thinking, taking them from price or cost-based thinking to results-based thinking by simply asking a few questions. Now, are you ready to see what is next? Okay. What I'm showing you is pretty basic today. I love you guys, but this is pretty basic stuff. Now, okay, I'm going to show you different industries, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay. Now, if I don't show you your industry, don't worry, we already train your industry. So we train 161 different industries on the planet right now and the subcategories of each one. Guess how many industries there are in the world? According to Forbes magazine, there's 163. We train 161 of those in all the subcategories. We don't train salt mining that we know of. They might be in more of our lower tier programs. There's one other one that none of you have probably ever heard about. You wouldn't see my reels or ads if we didn't already train your industry, just so you know. Okay. Now, let's say you're a marketing agency and you're talking to a small business, and let's say they're at 10 million a month. Well, this is kind of a medium-sized business. This is not a small business. Let's say they're at 9 or 10 million a month. They want to scale to $12 million a month, but they want the right marketing strategy to do that. And your company offers that. Okay. I'll just show you this. Okay. So, I mean, is price the most important thing to you, or putting in the right marketing strategy so you're able to scale to $12 million a month? What's the prospect going to pick? Oh, no, the price, not the scaling to $12 million a month. See what we're doing there. Okay. Now, that's a reframe. Okay. Now, let me show you that, because they could come back and say, well, no, we definitely want to scale, but we also want the best price. They could say that. So what are you going to do then? Okay. Let me show you. Type in me if you feel like you're starting to learn how to do this much better than maybe what you've done before. Type in me in the comment section, because we're going live here on YouTube channel, Facebook business page, Facebook group Sales Revolution, IG. We're going live here on about 7 different platforms. Type in me. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Let me show you. Pay attention. This is very important to you. Okay. So is price the most important thing to you, or actually putting in the right strategy so you guys are able to scale to $12 million a month? Then I'm going to go right here, because I mean, we can give you like a cheaper price, but I'm concerned for you, because how would we be able to dedicate the resources that are necessary to help you guys scale to $12 million a month if we put you on like a cheaper plan that doesn't actually do that? What did I just do there? That's a how-to question. Okay. That is a how-to question. It's hard for them to answer this, because I mean, we could give you just like, we could definitely lower it down to what company X was doing, but I'm concerned for you. Why would I say I'm concerned for you? Why would I say I'm concerned for you? Because I'm not the one that has the problems. Who has the problems? Your prospects or you? Your prospects do. You don't have the problems. So why are you qualifying to them? If you're one of our clients, we're going to train you how to get your prospects to qualify to you, because you're the one that can solve the problems, right? You see the difference there. Yeah, Chris Voss, he was just texting me about an hour ago looking for connections to hire a new VP of sales. So if any of you guys are a VP of sales right now and you're looking for a good company to work, my friend Chris Voss, I'm just texting literally 15 minutes ago, is looking for a new VP of sales. So if you're in that, DM me directly, and I'll set up a time where you can actually talk to his staff about a potential job with this company, the Black Swan Group. Great company, right? Okay, so let's take a look at it. Because I mean, yeah, now here's where you're reframing to, because we can definitely give you a cheaper price, but I'm concerned for you, because I mean, how would we be able on our end to dedicate the necessary resources with our staff to put on your account to help you to scale to $12 million a month without the funding to do that? So is that 10% off like the most important thing to you, or actually scaling to $12 million a month? Now, what did I just do? That is called NEPQ looping. Okay, I'm just looping back around and asking the same question, but a different way. Do you see what I'm doing? This is for this right here, I just showed you for like if you sold marketing, like an agency. This is for any industry. You just put in your jargon. I'm going to show you a few different examples. Okay. So is the 10% off the most important thing to you, or actually scaling to $12 million a month? I'm just looping back around with another reframe, okay? Because if my first frame didn't land, I have to re-ask this question here in a different way, and I loop back around with another reframe. Does that make sense what we're doing here? Okay. All right, let's keep going here. If you just came on this live, this should be posted here in a while, so you should be able to take notes from this, okay? All right, now, let's say if you sold home improvement. Type in me if you sell home improvement. This is a huge industry we train in. That could be windows, doors, siding, cabinets, countertops, tile, gutter repairs, leaf filters, like all that kind of stuff, okay? Huge industry, right? So, hey, can you give me a cheaper price? Well, it just depends. Now, you must have asked me that for a reason. Well, yeah, company X offered us blah, 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 blah for the same thing. Ah, okay. Well, is the price the most important thing to you, or putting in the XYZ windows so it stops the cold draft from coming in your room at night so you're able to sleep? So is the price the most important thing to you, or putting in the XYZ windows so it stops the cold draft from coming in so you're able to sleep at night? See, I'm reframing their way of thinking from price or cost-based thinking to results-based thinking. Now, I'm only saying this if they told me this, that they were looking for new windows because there's a cold draft coming into the room at night and it's hard for them to sleep. See, I'm repeating back the end result they said they wanted. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Then I'm going to go right here because we could totally put in like a cheaper window that they offered you, but I'm concerned for you because how would the cheap windows stop the cold air from coming in at night so you guys are able to sleep? It's the how-to question, the cheaper windows. Okay, see what we're doing there. Okay, now there's a whole lot more to that depending on what they do. Okay, let's go to a completely different industry. I'm going to show you 5 or 6 different industries, and you're going to notice that the formula is very similar. You're just plugging in the industry jargon. Okay, see what we're doing here. Okay, I can reframe for anything. Okay, all right. Let's say you sell employee benefits and the company you're talking to is having a hard time keeping some of their top employees happy. And a lot of their top people are leaving to their competition because their competitors are offering them better benefits package. And your company solves that problem. Does that make sense what we're doing here? It doesn't matter if it's plumbing. It doesn't really matter. We train all of this. We love you guys. If you want to learn how to do everything for your industry, message me directly because we train all of your industries. These basic lives are just basic. You don't know the context before, the context after. If you want to sell a lot more, you're going to have to learn a lot more than basic stuff like this that I'm showing you. Okay, employee benefits. So if they're like, well, can you give me a cheaper price? Company X offered it for this. Well, possibly. Now, you must have asked me that for a reason. Yeah, Company X offered it lower. Well, is price the most important thing to you, or putting in the right package for your employees so your top executives stop leaving to go to Company X? See, I'm plugging in the end result. Is price the most important thing to you, or putting in the right benefits package so your top executives stop leaving the company? Okay, what's the end result? They want the right benefits package to stop attrition, to stop their top executives from going to their competitors. Do you see what we're doing here? Okay, all right, keep going here as well. Okay, then I could go here because we definitely could give you like a cheaper package for your employees, but I'm concerned for you because how would we be able to help you retain your top employees with the cheaper plan that they already don't like? And what does that cause the prospect to do? Internalize that question and come to their own conclusion. Yeah, there's no way we could. We're still going to lose them with a cheaper plan. Well, you just agreed. We definitely could give you a cheaper price. I guess I'm concerned for you because how would you be able to help retain your top executives if you just put them on a cheaper plan that they already don't like? Well, yeah, there's no way we could do that, right? See how I'm getting them to persuade themselves. I'm getting the prospect to overcome their own concern. See what we're doing there, okay? All right. It's the same thing. Somebody just asked me, well, what about like a high-end luxury item? Okay, First of all, typically if somebody's walking into a store to buy a Ferrari, they're not necessarily saying, hey, can you give me a cheaper price because Honda offered me their newer version for $350,000 less. That's a whole different ballgame. Now, there are going to be some nuances. Well, it just depends on, I guess, how you want, people to view you. Well, what do you mean? Well, you want them to view you, and it just depends on what you sell. Let's say if you sold $50,000 purses and they came in and said, can you give me a cheaper price? Well, how do you mean by cheaper price? It just depends on how you want to be viewed. Like in your mind, by you purchasing this purse, what were you hoping it would cause you to feel? Well, I was hoping that it would cause me to feel this way or that way. Well, we definitely could get you into we could get you like a cheaper purse from somebody else, but how would you be able to feel XYZ having a cheaper purse? See, there's different examples. We would take it depending on what you do. Okay, I'm just making stuff up now. Okay, let's say if you were in the fitness industry, or you were a personal trainer, or you sold weight loss. This is a huge industry we train as well. Well, is price the most important thing to you, or actually losing the 95 pounds so you're able to walk your daughters down the aisle in 10 years? If that's what they said. If they said they want to lose 95 pounds because they're afraid they're going to die of a heart attack because they're way overweight and they're not going to be able to walk their daughter down the aisle. See what I'm doing? Okay. Well, is price the most important thing to you, or losing the 95 pounds so you're able to watch your grandkids grow up? Well, no, I mean, I definitely want to lose the 95 pounds so I see my grandkids growing up, because we could definitely, put you on like a cheap plan, but I'm concerned for you because how would we be able to help you lose the 90 pounds and keep it off so your kids have you in their life if we put you on like a cheap basic plan? Now that causes him or her to be like, yeah, there's no way I could. So at the end, is the price the most important thing to you, or actually losing the 95 pounds so you're able to watch your kids grow up? Well, no, see, I'm reframing them. I'm looping back around. See what we're doing there, okay? All right, let me show you another one, okay? Well, there we go. That help you guys today? Type in me if you felt you learned something today, because what I just showed you was pretty basic. I just want to be very realistic with you. That's just basic reframing and a little bit of looping. Now, the question is, how are you going to sell more if you don't know how to do stuff like that? How are you going to be able to sell more? Well, I'll just keep you guys there because I got to finish up here. I've got to get in a meeting here with my board. So how are you going to sell more right now? Now, we are going to go live tomorrow. Is everybody in the Facebook group for tomorrow's live? Make sure if you're on Instagram, we only go live on Tuesdays on IG. If you're on YouTube, we only go live on Tuesdays on IG. So on Wednesdays, we always go live in our Facebook group, Sales Revolution. You guys are welcome to join that if you want to be on the live on Wednesdays. And that's where I interview every week a different client who is crushing it now from a completely different industry. And we have them give you golden nuggets, things that we've trained them in our advanced training programs as clients that have helped them far outsell everybody else in their company, in their industry. So if you're wanting to be on those lives, you can go to salesrevolution.group. I think that's the one, salesrevolution.group. We let you join that for free, salesrevolution.group. And the question then becomes, how are you going to sell 2 to 3 times more? How are you going to sell 2 to 3 times more if you keep asking the same questions you're asking right now? Because is your sales ability important for you to make more money as a salesperson? Yes or no? Type in yes if your sales skills, your sales ability determine what type of income you will make as a salesperson. Yes or no? Does your sales skills and ability determine what you make as a salesperson? Yes or no? I think we all know that's probably a really big yes. If we don't know that, could be trouble for you, okay? Now, in the chats, whatever chat you're on, whatever platform you're on, I want you to type in the amount of commissions, base plus commission if you're on that type of pay plan, or commissions you feel you really want to make as a salesperson. Like, what level do you want to get at? For each of you, that's going to be different, right? We can't decide that for you. So in the chats, type in the amount of commissions or, you know, base plus commissions you want to get to on a monthly basis? Like, what do you feel like you really, really want to make if you had the right skills, if you knew the right questions to ask for your industry, if you knew how to use your tonality to get your prospects to let your guard down, if you knew how to prevent objections from even happening in the prospect's mind? I want you to type in what you feel you really want to make if you acquired those skills. Some of you, 10,000 a month, 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month. Some of you are ambitious like that, 20 grand a month, 32 grand a month. John, Glenn, 20 grand a month. Johannes, 50 grand. Johannes, 50 grand, 200 grand. I like some of that. 20 grand over here on IG, 40 grand base plus commissions, 60 goal. John, that's good. 15 a month, 20 a month, 100% contract. Okay, 500 grand a month. I want to break your record. Well, I had different records in all 4 industries I was in. In all 4 industries, well, you know what? You have to be compliant. When you're a big company like this, you can't say income stuff. Do you guys know that? It's kind of crazy. You know, we get compliance attorneys in here. You can't even tell people the truth of what you make. It's kind of crazy. But I average multiple 7 figures a year in 4 completely different industries. You can always Google that. It's on public record. Okay. Just, you know, we have to be compliant, because if I say that this is what I made, you might be like, well, Jeremy said I could make that. Well, no, I'm not saying that. You got to learn the same skills that I learned. You got to learn the assets that I learned to be able to get up to that level. Now, whatever you decide you want to make, that you posted in that chat, okay, how in the hell are you going to get there if you're asking the same questions you're asking right now to your prospects? How are you going to get to that level? I'm dead serious. You're just going to switch to a different company, and obviously, and then your income triples? And switch to a different industry. It's an industry. Oh, if I was in this industry, I'd be making triple. I see so many people do that, and they don't understand that it's their skill level. Okay. Now, how are you going to get to that number you posted in the chat if you haven't mastered or even learned how to use your tonality to get your prospects to let their guard down? How are you going to do that? I'm dead serious. These are real life things we have to decide, right? But they impact what? Our family's future forever. The decisions we make, okay? How will you get into the top 1 to 5% of salespeople in your industry if you don't learn how to even prevent most objections from even happening in your prospect's mind? You just accept you get objections. You just haven't learned yet that objections are actually triggered by us, the salesperson, triggering uncertainty in the prospect's mind. Objections happen because of uncertainty. When I learn advanced sales skills, when I learn how to get the prospect to let their guard down, when I learn how to get the prospect to open up emotionally, when I learn how to build a gap and help the prospect find not just one problem, but 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 problems they didn't realize they had, guess what happens? You make a lot more sales, right? I always say this. The profession of selling can be the highest paid, easiest job on the planet if you acquire the right skills. On the flip side, it can be the lowest paying, hardest job in the world if you don't acquire the right skills. So the question is, what's your next step to acquire those skills? Now, for you who are serious about the sales profession, and you know that there are levels to this ball game we call sales, you simply decide which level you want to play at. For you, message me directly right now. If you're on Instagram or LinkedIn or the Facebook group or the Facebook business page or my Facebook or YouTube, message me directly right now. Now, between all 5 of those platforms, there are about 1,400 of you on between all 5 of those platforms, about 6 of those platforms, okay? About 250 on each one, somewhere in that range. I probably will not have time to message all of you, okay? So out of 1,300 of you, I might have time to message 50 of you back. I will have other team members in there messaging you some back, okay? Now, what we'll do is we'll ask you some questions about what you feel like you're saying and asking right now that's causing most of your prospects who have problems that you could solve to not buy from you? Because once we understand that, then we can suggest which of our different training programs you can be a part of if you want to raise your level of skill level so you sell a lot more than you are now, right? Because if you want to double your sales or triple your sales or quadruple or 5x, I'm not kidding, how will you do that using the same techniques you use now that have kept you here? Very hard to do, right? Impossible. Okay, we love you guys. DM me directly if you want to start acquiring those skills. We will go live in the Facebook group, salesrevolution.group tomorrow. So if you want to be on the live tomorrow, we will interview clients, which we do every Wednesday in the Facebook group. Go to salesrevolution.group. You're welcome to join that for free. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, everybody, we love you. IG, we love you guys. See you tomorrow. Stay out of trouble. Okay, YouTube, stay out of trouble. See you guys tomorrow. LinkedIn, we love you guys. Facebook business page, love you guys too. See you guys tomorrow inside.